on that one. Oh, what am I doing here? So I'm just marking down that Tim has a score, and then I'm trying to think of what to do with Stefan Ratchford next.
Give him a haircut.
Right, we've got Matty Bowen in 2014 facing up against Paul Wellens. Matty Bowen, who came so close to setting up the winning try and potentially the winning try in that match, but just his offload fell just short of what John Bateman could grasp. Was it the other way around? Either way, Matty Bowen had some great moments in that 2014 Grand Final, but it was not to be enough because of Ben Flowers' buggery and St Helens' resilience to win with no halfbacks. What I would want you to answer for me, Tim, is in their entire careers, okay, so full careers, has Stefan Ratchford...
Is it my go?
No, it's my go.
Oh, is it Alan? Oh, sorry, Alan.
Yeah.
Right, Stefan Ratchford played 317 games in his career so far. Okay. What I want to know from you is, did Matty Bowen play in more or fewer games? And that's combining Super League games, NRL games, and international games. But not state of origin.
I've already heard that Matty Bowen's played a lot of games in the NRL. I'm going to go Matty Bowen played the most.
Okie dokie. We're going to play a bonus point round then. Okay? And the closest to it wins. You've won a point, Alan. He did play more. What I want is people to tell me how many more. Okay? They think Matty Bowen played than Stefan Ratchford. We're going to start with you, Al. Bonus point. For the closest.
So this is the difference between the two players?
Yes. So how many more did Matty Bowen play in his career than Stefan Ratchford has played so far?
He played 55 more.
So Alan's coming with 55. Paul, you can make a guess. Whoever's the closest wins.
How many did Stefan Ratchford play?
317 he's played so far.
15.
So we've gone from 55 to 15. Tim, what's your guess?
What was Ratchford's number?
317. I'm glad we're all listening.
It's getting late.
Don't worry, we've only got 5 more to go.
I'm going to say 12.
Ooh, undercutting Paul there, and you were right to do that. He's played one more. 318.
Lovely.
That gets Tim back in the game, but we're on to Paul's question, which is about...
We must be setting a record for the longest quiz we've ever done.
Yeah, it's the longest quiz we've ever done. Yeah, it's going to be... Well, people have got, time on their hands. So... Wigan had a different fullback in 2016 because Sam Tompkins was back, but he was injured. Matty Bowen had departed. Can you remember who had an amazing run to close out that season at fullback, Paul, for Wigan? Now at Salford.
Now at Salford? No, can't think.
Dan Sargentson.
Oh, I didn't think he played at fullback. Oh.
No, he played. He just finished that season after Sam Tompkins injured his foot. After a Warrington game, but not at the game. So, ask your own, come to your own conclusions how that came about. But Sam Tompkins injured his foot and wasn't able to play the end of the season. Dan Sargentson came in, basically crushed his body to a point that he was never going to succeed in the NRL. But yeah, he played that game. So, what I want you to tell me though is, Matty Bowen played one international match, okay? Has Dan Sargentson played more or less international matches than one? Paul?
More, definitely.
Yeah.
Have I lost you now?
No, you're back. He did.
I had it the first time.
He played
I
three.
was
No,
going to say,
I had it first time as well. I thought Mark
I
was
took
just
a dramatic
tension.
pause.
No, I missed it. I'm sorry, I missed it. It's on me. Right, okay. Where are we up to? So, 4 left. We're into 2017. Okay. And we are talking about clearly one of the most infamous appearances at fullback in a grand final through no issue of this man of his own. So, can we guess which man I'm talking about, Tim?
Lots of higher.
No, Greg Eden. 2017.
Sorry.
Tim, you're going to get fired from doing any quizzes in the future at this rate. So, Dan
I've
Sargent,
never been good at the.
Dan Sargentson played 5 games in the NRL before he hurt his shoulder, then got into a bar scuffle, then just came home. Greg Eden had a similarly brief spell in the NRL, but did he play more or fewer games than Dan Sargentson's 5?
Less.
He played more. He played 7 times for Brisbane, scoring 1 try.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So, and I would have, whatever you said, I would have made up the answer the other way, to be honest. Alan, background to you. 2017 saw the rise of a new young fullback as well for Leeds Rhinos, Jack Walker. Okay.
Yes.
This is very difficult because you're basically onto a slam dunk here. So, I don't know how to do this other than to say Greg Eden's played 142 matches in the UK. Okay. Now, has Jack Walker played more or less than half the amount of games that Greg Eden's played? So basically, has he played more or less than 71 games? It's the only way to make it fair.
He has spent a fair amount of time injured though, and he kind of broke through in 2017. I'm going to say he played less.
You were correct to say he played less. Right, the 2018 Grand Final featured 2 players we've talked about before, Sam Tomkins and Stephen Ratchford. So we're not going to talk about that Grand Final for Paul's last question. But Paul, and I don't know how I've done this, but I've done it somehow or other to get you all the same amount of questions. But it's a bonus point. Paul gets to go first, okay? And I want you to tell me what was unique in that Grand Final compared to any of the other fullback Grand Final performances we've talked about. And that's all you're getting, but you get first go on this, Paul.
Unique from a fullback.
So one of the 2 fullbacks in this game produced something unique to a fullback in a grand final. Have you said it again and me not heard you?
No, I'm trying to think. It was at fullback.
It was Sam Tomkins versus Stephen Ratchford with the 2 fullbacks.
Stephen Ratchford, who did something unique.
Who and what, I suppose, is what we're looking for.
I'd say Sam Tomkins, but I haven't got a clue what he did.
Fair enough.
So I did. It's a complete stab in the dark.
Tim, do you want to take a guess at something?
Did he pick up a yellow card?
Sam Tomkins did pick up a yellow card, so I might have to give 2 points out because that wasn't what. No, he didn't. He didn't get a yellow card. Everyone thought he should have had one for the knees tackle, but he didn't. But I've already told you that's not what it was. But Alan, your guess.
This game's gone from my memory, but I'm going to say Ratchford kicked a drop goal.
No. So, it was... None of you have got it. Stephen Ratchford won the Harry Sunderland Trophy as the losing fullback in this game.
There you go.
That was a tough one. Right, okay. Into 2009, two fresh fullbacks to the grand final scene. And we're comparing Jack Walker to Lachlan Coote. Okay? So, Paul, Lachlan Coote, has he scored more or less than the 19 tries that Jack Walker has scored in the Super League?
Oh. I'm going to go less.
Less by just 3, 16. So obviously that Saints side was fantastic, but not quite good enough from that point of view. Okay, and we are going to then, Tim, leave you with the last fullback we're going to talk about. A player who I have a lot of time and love for is Niall Evalds. Okay, so I'm going to let you have a choice. You can either choose total amount of tries scored in their careers or total amount of games played in their careers. Okay, so you can pick the category and you can tell me whether Niall Evalds has had more or less than Lachlan Coote, but I'm not going to give you the figures. So you pick total tries or total games, and you can pick which one you want, and you tell me which one Niall Evalds has had more or less in. It's totally up to you, but I'm not going to give you the figures for Lachlan Coote.
Let's go total games. And I'm going to say that Lachlan Coote has played more.
Yeah, so Coote's played 199 games, scoring 75 tries. Evalds has played 154, scoring 107. So you do win that one. We have one final bonus point question before we add up the total scores. But I would tell you that I could have to come up with a tiebreaker. So it's very tense. What I want you to tell me is, of all those 22 grand final fullback performances, how many Harry Sunderland Trophy winners, how many Harry Sunderland Trophy winning performances have we had from fullbacks in those 22 grand finals? So we're going to start with Tim and then work our way through.
5.
Tim
says 5. Alan, do you want to say anything different to 5?
Yes, just for the tension. I'm going to say 7.
Okay, and Paul, do you want to make a guess? We've had 5, we've had 7. You can pick either of those numbers, or you can pick something else.
I'm going to go 4.
4. Okay, that has left us with the exciting scenario that everyone listening at home that's still listening would have wanted. The final scores have Alan, with bonus points included, scoring a total of 6. Paul scoring a total of 7. He got all of the questions he was asked right, but his bonus points he blanked out on. No bonus points for Paul. Tim has also scored 7. He scored 4 in the regular competition and 3 from the bonus points, with 5 being the amount of men who won the Harry Sunderland Trophy playing fullback. So I need to come up with a sudden death question for the two of you. I don't know how to do that.
We could just give it to Paul because he scored more of his regular questions. Let's do it that way.
Let's do it that way. Fair enough. Paul, you are the champion of the SLP quiz. Tim clearly doesn't want this quiz to go on any longer. But in talking about that, we got to talk about loads of fullbacks that we never even would have thought of. I mean, Stuart Spruce. Who would have thought to talk about Stuart Spruce? And I got to have a dig at Paul Aitchison. That was welcome.
Yeah. Matty Bowen.
Matty Bowen was actually really good, weren't he? To be fair, he was a very exciting player.
For a man that looked like a potato, he was an excellent fullback.
And he came to the Super League at his most potatoey. You know. To be fair, he did. But he still scored some crackers. He still scored some cracking full length tries.